Hi everyone. I told in the last video about National Missing Exploited Children getting involved and a story being concocted. Before I get to that, I want to say here and now that the recording that he used, the saying that I was going to harm myself or the children, was a farce. It was investigated in November by Child Protective Services. There was a bunch of people at my house when that happened. It would happen late at night. Um, I accidentally woke up Malia at that time when I was acting, and she woke up crying, and we told her it was an act afterwards, and everybody laughed, and she told us that wasn't funny, and she went back to bed. She was definitely safe. There was nothing going on. That was investigated. There were several people in the home when it happened who also said that this was investigated to be an acting scenario. I did this acting to get Shayla Tanna to stop chasing me to have me put in jail. Um, so now, National Missing and Exploited Children is involved. It is deemed that I am in a domestic violence situation. It is deemed that there is definitely some risk factors with Shayla Tanna and being abusive. It was deemed that the children were safe with me. I don't know what happened afterwards. The police department was working with me in November. They told us that we were safe in Massachusetts, that people were going to help. The only thing I can think of is that this is the story that was told to National Missing and Exploited Children by Shayla Tanna and the Millbrook Police Department. Now, mind you, before I told you that Captain Fields talked to the domestic violence shelter, also sent the police report to the domestic violence center after after Shivani was thrown across the room. So the Millbrook, Alabama Police Department knew that I left Millbrook, Alabama under domestic violence situations. There was no safe place in Alabama for me. The Family Sunshine Center was full. Child Protective Services refused to help, but the Alabama Police Department was in contact with the New York Domestic Violence Center, so they knew that I left and went to a domestic violence center, that I was in shelter in New York. Also had conversations with my worker. It is documented. So now they wait 2 years, and they think that I don't have any more support. She's no longer working with the domestic violence center. And Shayla Tanna, I don't know whether he goes in there or how it happened, but National Missing and Exploited Children was told that a white van came at some time in the morning or whatever and picked me and the children up from Alabama, from 421 Oak Tree Road Loop in Alabama, and that I was trafficking the children with these magical trafficker people. I did not leave Alabama with traffickers. Ashton's friend picked us up, took us to the bus station, and we took a bus to Syracuse, where we were picked up by the sheriff and taken to the shelter. I was kicked out the shelter in Syracuse, went to my daughter's house and stayed for a week, and then was placed in another shelter in Bath, New York. I was never with human traffickers. The children were always with me. I was not trafficking the children. But these are the lies that was told 2 years later, when they felt that I didn't have any more support, or felt that I was on my own, thought maybe nobody would believe me. They came up with this story. I don't know who came up with the story, whether it was Shayla Tanner, the police was involved, or who else helped him come up with the story, but they definitely came up with a lie. They told it